In American politics, words can inspire, unite, or deeply divide. The language our leaders use isn't just rhetoric. It shapes public opinion, influences policy, and can even alter the course of history. Last week, we witnessed just how powerful and potentially dangerous political language can be. As headlines and breaking news alerts dominated the national conversation, a heated exchange erupted between former President Donald Trump and Democratic lawmakers, with Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania at the center of the storm. The clash quickly became a focal point for both parties. It all began with a video released by Democratic veterans in Congress, warning about the dangers of following unlawful orders and emphasizing the importance of upholding the Constitution. Trump responded forcefully on social media, using phrases like punishable by death, which sparked outrage and concern across the political spectrum. Senator Fetterman condemned Trump's language as reckless and dangerous, igniting a national debate about the boundaries of political speech and the responsibilities of those in power. This wasn't just another partisan spat. It raised urgent questions about leadership, patriotism, and the real-world impact of rhetoric from those in power. The nation watched as the debate intensified. At the heart of the dispute was a fundamental question: what does it truly mean to serve the country, and how should we honor those who defend our democracy? The controversy also forced Americans to consider where the line is drawn between healthy dissent and outright sedition, especially in a time of heightened political tension. As the controversy grew, clarifications, statements, and rebuttals poured in from all sides, keeping the issue in the headlines and fueling passionate debate across the country. By examining this clash, we see just how fragile and polarized political dialogue has become in America, and how quickly words can escalate into national crises. The words of our leaders don't just echo in the halls of Congress. They shape the very fabric of our democracy, influencing how we see ourselves and each other as citizens. The way we talk in politics matters now more than ever. Our democracy depends on it. On November 20th, 2025, Donald Trump unleashed a barrage of posts on Truth Social, targeting Democratic lawmakers in a video he called seditious. The posts quickly went viral, drawing immediate attention from both his supporters and critics. Trump's use of social media has always been provocative, but this time, the tone was even more incendiary, sparking intense debate across the country. He wrote in all caps, "Seditious behavior, punishable by death," a phrase that instantly set off alarms nationwide. The stark language was impossible to ignore, and it reverberated through newsrooms, social media feeds, and political circles alike. Trump's posts didn't stop there. He called the lawmakers traitors, and suggested they should be locked up, echoing chants from his rallies, but now with a deadly twist. The rhetoric was reminiscent of his campaign events, but the stakes felt higher than ever. Critics warned that such language could incite violence, especially in a country already on edge. Many feared that Trump's words might inspire real-world actions, given the charged political climate and recent history of unrest. Trump's accusations went beyond political disagreement. He was framing his opponents as criminals, even traitors, deserving the harshest punishment. This escalation marked a new chapter in the ongoing battle between Trump and his political adversaries. The legal charge of sedition is serious, and Trump's framing turned a policy dispute into a volatile personal attack. Legal experts weighed in, debating whether his words crossed a line into incitement or remained protected speech. His millions of followers saw these posts escalating a political disagreement into a national crisis. The posts spread rapidly, fueling heated arguments online and offline, and deepening divisions across the country. The controversy was no longer about a video. It was about the safety of public officials and the limits of political speech. Law enforcement agencies increased security, and lawmakers expressed concern for their own safety. The nation was left grappling with urgent questions. How far can political rhetoric go before it becomes dangerous? And what responsibility do leaders have for the consequences of their words? Trump's words set the stage for a fierce backlash and a debate over the power and danger of presidential rhetoric. The video that sparked Trump's outrage wasn't a typical attack ad. It was a direct message from 6 Democratic lawmakers, all military or intelligence veterans. Their goal: remind current service members that their oath is to the Constitution, not any one leader. They warned about the possibility of illegal orders from a future administration, urging military personnel to refuse commands that violate the law. The lawmakers, Senators Slotkin and Kelly, and Representatives Deluzio, Goodlander, Houlihan, and Crow, spoke as former colleagues, not just politicians. Their message was clear. Upholding the law sometimes means saying no, even to the president. Trump saw this as a challenge to his authority, interpreting it as an attempt to incite insubordination. The clash was about more than a video. It was a fundamental disagreement over duty, loyalty, and the meaning of service. This set the stage for the explosive confrontation that followed. As Trump's posts spread rapidly across social media, their impact was felt far beyond the digital world. The tone and content of his messages sparked heated debates, with many questioning the boundaries of acceptable political speech. In the midst of this controversy, Senator John Fetterman stepped up with a blunt and unmistakable response. He posted publicly, "I strongly reject this dangerous rhetoric. Do not threaten members of Congress, Republican or Democrat. It's deeply wrong, no exceptions." His words were clear, leaving no room for ambiguity. Fetterman wasn't in the original video that sparked the uproar, but he recognized immediately that a line was being crossed, one that threatened the very foundation of democratic debate. He called it out as a direct threat to the safety of all lawmakers, regardless of party. His message was simple, nonpartisan, and direct, defending Congress as an institution, not just his party or his colleagues. Fetterman's intervention reframed the debate entirely. This wasn't about left versus right or partisan rivalry, but about the basic rules of political discourse and the standards that hold our democracy together. He warned that such language could inspire real-world violence, especially in a climate already tense with division and anger. The risk was not hypothetical. Threats against officials are rising, and the consequences could be dire. By taking a public stand, Fetterman made it clear that silence was not an option. He challenged other leaders to speak up, to defend the integrity of Congress and the safety of its members, or risk being seen as complicit in the escalation of dangerous rhetoric. His words helped shift the national conversation, prompting new discussions about responsibility and leadership, and focusing attention on the dangers of political threats in today's America. The pressure was now on. Would others condemn Trump's rhetoric, or stay silent and let the moment pass? The nation watched closely, waiting to see who would take a stand for civility and who would retreat into silence. Fetterman's stand made it clear. Leadership means drawing boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. Some lines in politics should never be crossed, and it takes courage to say so out loud. Under fire, Trump addressed the controversy on the Brian Kilmeade show. He claimed his punishable by death comment was a historical reference, not a literal threat. Trump insisted he wasn't calling for violence, but doubled down on his belief that the lawmakers' actions were a grave offense. He argued their video encouraged the military to disobey a future president, an act he called illegal. While Trump tried to soften his words, he didn't back down from his core accusation. Critics saw his explanation as splitting hairs. Whether historical or not, the effect was the same, painting opponents as traitors. The interview did little to calm the storm, leaving both sides more entrenched. The controversy only deepened, with Trump's words continuing to fuel the debate. The 6 Democratic lawmakers responded with a unified statement, turning Trump's accusation back on him. They argued their video simply restated the law service members must refuse illegal orders. What's most telling is that the president considers it punishable by death for us to restate the law, they wrote. They called Trump's rhetoric a clear incitement to violence, not a historical musing. Their statement was a call for unity. Every American must unite and condemn the president's calls for our murder and political violence. The lawmakers framed themselves as patriots defending the Constitution, not traitors. Their response was defiant, reaffirming their message and challenging the public to choose between the rule of law and political violence. The joint statement kept the focus on the seriousness of Trump's words and forced others to confront the implications. Their solidarity sent a message: they would not be intimidated or divided. The debate was now about the very foundations of democracy and the safety of those who serve. Who are these 6 lawmakers? They're not just politicians. They're veterans with deep experience in national security. Senator Mark Kelly, Navy combat pilot, retired NASA astronaut. Senator Alyssa Slotkin, CIA analyst, Pentagon official, Iraq war veteran. Representative Chris Deluzio, Navy officer. Iraq War veteran, Repettus Chrissy Houlihan, Air Force officer, Repettus Jason Crow, Army Ranger, Iraq and Afghanistan veteran, Repettus Maggie Goodlander, Navy Reserve Intelligence Officer. Their shared oath: defend the Constitution, not any one leader. They see their warning as an extension of their service, protecting democracy from within. Their backgrounds give weight to their message, turning a political fight into a debate about the core values of American service. This clash is a symptom of a bigger problem: the rise of violent, inflammatory rhetoric in American politics. When leaders use words like traitor and death, it erodes the foundation of democracy and can incite real-world violence. The FBI and DHS have warned about the dangers of political extremism fueled by such language. Even when it doesn't lead to violence, this rhetoric deepens divisions and makes compromise impossible. It turns opponents into enemies, poisoning public life and making it harder to solve real problems. That's why Fetterman's and the lawmakers' responses struck a chord. They reminded us that words have power, and leaders have a responsibility to use them wisely. The debate over Trump's posts is a wake-up call. What kind of political culture do we want? The language we accept today will shape our democracy tomorrow. This firestorm, sparked by a video, social media posts and public outrage, shows just how high the stakes are in American politics. On one side, lawmakers defending the Constitution, warning against illegal orders and demanding civility. On the other, Trump and his supporters seeing the video as insubordination and justifying harsh rhetoric as a defense of authority. The nation is left to decide, where is the line between free speech and dangerous incitement? Is it ever acceptable for a leader to use the language of treason and death against political rivals? There are no easy answers, but the questions matter. Words shape reality, influence behavior, and can either strengthen or shatter democracy. As this story unfolds, the whole country is listening, and the choices we make now will define our future.